And we are live. Welcome to the Christian Whistleblower channel. Very glad to have you here with me this evening. I know you've got a lot of places you could go. I know you got a lot of people you could see. I know you got a lot of things that you could do. And you're choosing to be here with me, and I really do appreciate that. I'm coming to you live from the heartland of America, from the heartland of your heart is the hope and the goal. And we are in Kansas, of course, which is Oz. And today it really is Oz. A lot of tornado activity, but none here. And as Halo will tell you, I am a wizard. So I am the wizard from Oz. Only it's different this time, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to the Emerald City. We're going to the City of Enlightenment. And there's no curtains. Come on back, cousins. Let the wizard show you how it's done. We're locked and loaded. We're wall to wall. We're treetop tall. We're unindoctrinating ourselves. So I hope that you saw and look at that. It's so amazing just to look. We've got Sydney, Australia represented. We've got Slovenia represented. People all over the world watching and listening. It's so awesome. And sometimes you get a little bit overwhelmed by the technology when you sit and think about it. So let's not. Earlier today, we talked about the Tower of Babel, going back to the Tower of Babel, learning what it really is. Most of us are taught that it was a righteous God dealing with unrighteous people, when it was actually the opposite. An unrighteous little g God dealing with people that were righteous and wanting to come back to the true gods. And I should have finished it up yesterday. I should have finished it up this afternoon when we did it, but it was just too much information. It was so much too dense, and I can see a lot of people getting overwhelmed. So we'll go ahead and finish it up. It's going to be a rather short program today, but let's say hello to the people that are in the house tonight. I just want to say hello to Charlie D'Angelo, to Cynthia L, to Tracy. It is a bit breezy up there tonight. Yes, Jason, Jama. Nice weather in Texas. Maria, Tracy Roberts, Beth Roper, hot as I don't know what in Georgia. Two Trees, softball, hailstorm 91, Shreveport. Lindsay Lindbergh is in Omaha, where they had some very, very bad weather. And we're glad that you're okay. Nigel, I'd really like to get you and Mark Center Saint on to talk about your favorite subject. Maybe you can communicate with Mark, see if he's willing, and you guys can come on and talk about that. Jennifer is in Garden Plain, Kansas. That can't be too far from where I am, although I don't know where Garden Plain is. There's Sterling talking about aliens. Nigel, Lucky Stone, Lindsay again, Charlie D'Angelo one more time. Sorry about that. Juan Galvez, Nancy, Heather, Teresa, 928 Sport Racer, Mama Chaos, and Cliff Desmond, the one, the only, the Edge with Cliff, Beyond the Edge with Cliff. We're going to talk to Cliff, have him on the channel very, very soon. Pardon me. CJ Peterson, Becca, Teresa, Amanda, down under. Robert, USN vet. Nice to see you again. Robert's also in Kansas, so we know he's dealing with some blustery terrain. Sylvain, Nixon, Lori Eldrick, and Freeman King. Teresa, CJ, Edwin, Rietha, I haven't seen you for a while. Alabama, nice to see you. Beyond All, Naomi, Paul, Denise. Hi, Denise V. Oh, I know who Denise V is, I think. Let me see. Let me look at that picture and see if I know who that is. Let me see if I know who that is. I know who that is. We met Denise at the LeakCon. So nice to see you here. And TT, Rocky freaking Stucci, yo. Shut up. Rocky, not in the building last night because he was not in the building. But let me show you something. I'm going to do it low tech. I'll show it to you on my cell phone. But this is exciting, ladies and gentlemen, because I got something here to show you, and you're going to be excited to see it. Oh, man, did I? Oh, no. I was going to say, did I erase it? Surely not. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to even believe it when you see it, because do you know what that is right there? And I got to wait for, let me see, make sure I'm showing it to you. Do you know what that is right there? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the first test brew of the hot cup of shut up right there. That's the first one. My son brewed it today, tasted it, says it is extraordinary. So you can look forward to the hot cup of shut up coming out really soon. And you can look forward to Shut Up and Listen, our nationally syndicated show coming out very well as well, Rocky and I. So I know we're wasting a lot of time. Let's get into this. Let's finish up. I can't go over the rest of it. You just got to watch the show from earlier. The link is in the box below. We're going to pick up in Genesis chapter 11 and verse number 4, I think. Let me see. Genesis chapter 11 and verse number 4. We're going to wrap it up. And it's just so much revelation. I can't even. Oh, come on now. My technology wants to betray me. Or perhaps, unlikely, but perhaps it's operator error. Could be. Genesis 11:4. Here we go. Here we go. No, we're going to go to Genesis 11:5, because you just seen that the people who were still talking to animals, were still communicating with each other, were still communicating with trees, all of creation could speak to one another. You'll have to go back to earlier to find it out. They went and they decided to make themselves pure, thoroughly pure. They decided to get excited. They decided to get on fire. They decided to go back to the true gods and leave Yahweh. They rejected his rocks, his rocks. They rejected his tar. They rejected all his ways and said, we got what we need. And they said no to his chief cornerstone. That's right. They said no to the chief cornerstone, and you know who that is. And if you want to get free, totally free, you got to say no to the chief cornerstone too. But Jeff, that's Jesus. Yeah, I know it is. And you got to say, yo, no, get out of here. Forget about it. Rocky Stucci style. So, and then, ladies and gentlemen, in verse number 5. You know what? Let's read this first. Let's read number 4. I think I was right. We didn't get into this. Let's look at verse number 4. And here's what the people said. This was their summation. Come on, let us build. Let us build. Do what? Let us build. Let's get something going on. Let's get busy, cousins. Let us build for what? For ourselves. Let us build. And this is one of the biggest mysteries I've ever come across. I looked through this word through this way. I went in through the interlinear, and this word for ourselves will not show up anywhere within Bible Hub. I'm convinced it's a conspiracy, but I could be wrong. Let us build for ourselves. We're just going to assume it means ourselves, a city. Let us build a city. Let us build what? Some excitement. Jeff, how can they get city out of excitement? I don't know, because they're liars. I don't know, because they want to trick you. I don't know, because they want to keep you from the truth. I don't know, because they want you to think that they were building some tower to defy God, and all they really wanted to do was get excited about what they left behind to give up what they gave up to get to the Lord. And they said, we're done with the Lord. We're excited to go back. Let's build ourselves some excitement, ladies and gentlemen. And isn't it about time that we built ourselves some excitement? Isn't it about time that we quit worrying and fretting and being afraid? And isn't it time we get out of the fear and guilt control matrix? Isn't it time we get out of the fear porn and get excited about the truth and the understandings that we're coming into? I think it's time. Let's get excited. Let's just don't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Anyway, let's make ourselves excited. And let's have a tower. What's a tower? A tower is what? It's a kadal. Let's grow up. Let's become great. It ain't a tower. It's about getting excited and growing up. It's about getting excited and being great. Make Americans great again. You like what I did with that? Make Americans great again and Australians great again. Make all people great again. And then we can reach up. We can do what? We can reach out. We can head to what? The heavens. We can get excited. We can grow. We can reach to the heavens. And we can do what? We can accomplish what? A name for ourselves. We can be known as the people of the anointing. We can be known as the people of the consecration. We can be known as the people of the flow. We can be known as the gospel truth army. We can be known as divine, sovereign, and free. Let's make a name for ourselves. Ain't got nothing to do with building no towers. What did they not want to do? They didn't want to be broken to pieces, dispersed and scattered all over the earth, because they knew that if they got dispersed and scattered all over the earth, they would lose some of their power. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we need each other. We need each other. We may not agree on the shape of the earth. We may not agree on whether aliens are interdimensional or interstellar. We may not agree on QAnon. We may not agree on what a diet should be, but we need each other. We need to look past the silly little things that we disagree with and be inclusive on the main things. We need ourselves. We need togetherness. There is strength in numbers. We need to be a community, and we need to stop drawing lines to draw people out, and we need to start drawing big circles to draw people in. Now, there are some things you just can't deal with. You just can't have fellowship with. You just can't put your arms around and hug. But we need each other. We need ourselves. I blow my own mind, Teresa. Believe me. We need ourselves. We need each other. We don't want to be scattered. We don't want to be lone rangers. John Donne, the prophet, said, no man's an island. Neither is any woman. We need to get together. That's why I'm getting on an airplane flying to Palm Desert this weekend, to be with Robert Stanley, to be with Jay Campbell, to be with the people that are there at the Contact in the Desert. That's why I got in my car and drove 9 hours to Denver a couple weekends ago, to be with Wayne, to be with Halo, to be with Denise, to be with Heidi, to be with all the great people like Lecon. And that's why next weekend, not, this weekend I'm going to Palm Desert. Next weekend, I'm going to probably get in my car and drive a long way to be with Rex Bear and James Gilliland at East Ranch. Why? Because we need each other. I'm going to get in a car or an RV or an airplane and go see Scotty Roberts and go see Rocky Stucci and go see all the great folks up there. Why? Because we need each other. We need each other. We don't want to be scattered all over the face of the earth, because there's power in numbers, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sorry I wasn't showing you that, but here we get back in. And then once seeing what we had decided to do, and I say we because this was us, it might have literally been us in other lives, because I'm almost wondering if there's just a certain number of souls and we keep coming back until we graduate. But they got tired of serving the Lord. They got out of his enclosure. They went to Babylon. They said, let's renew ourselves. Let's get excited. Let's dedicate ourselves to the heavens. Let's grow. Let's go. And let's build ourselves a reputation. Let's do this thing. And let's not be scattered across the face of the earth. So the Lord, what's it say in verse number 5? The Lord came down. He came down. He descended. I ask you, how did he descend? How did he come down? It was in a spaceship. It was in a craft. And he wasn't really the Lord, because he just heard about this. If he was really the Lord, then he would have been omnipotent, omniscient. He would have known what was going on. He wouldn't have had to get in a spaceship and come down. But he came down, and why did he come down? I jumped it a little bit. He came down to see. He came down to see, I said, come on, work with me. He came down to check it out. Wouldn't have to check it out if he was really omniscient. Wouldn't have to check it out if he was really omnipotent. But he came down to see what? He came down to see what all the excitement was about. He could tell there was some excitement. He could feel there was some excitement. He was getting reports there was some excitement. I don't know if it was in Key or in Yule. I'm beginning to think it was one of them. Or beings that we call that. But he says, man, there's some excitement going on down there. And it ain't about me. And you know if your woman's excited and it's not about you. You know if your man's excited and it's not about you. You know. And you check it out. So he went to check it out. He checked out the city. And he checked out the lifting up that was going on. The growing that was going on. The growing up, the becoming great. They were excited about becoming great. Making all people great again. Make Americans great again. Make all people great again. He heard about the MAGA that was going on and all the excitement. He saw the big crowds. So he got in his spaceship and he came down and wanted to see what the sons of men. Remember, it goes right back to what we were talking about a couple of days ago. Sons of God, daughters of men. These were sons of men doing what? Worshiping the Elohim. And he went down to see what they were building, what they were putting together, what they were getting on like Donkey Kong. Takes us right back to Genesis chapter 6, the sons of men. I want to see what they were building. And when he saw what they were building, he got scared. He got skirt. He really did. He was like, oh, shit. I said a bad word. And the Lord said, listen, if these people have begun to do all this, speaking the same language, still communicating with animals, trees, each other, if they can still communicate with each other like this, here's a prophecy, ladies and gentlemen. If we can communicate with each other, and hopefully communicate with the animals, communicate with the planet, but if we can just communicate with each other, because he said one people here, this is prophecy. If all us folk can stop doing something that rhymes with folk to each other, and I mean in a bad way, not in a good way. You can do the good way one, but the bad way one, if you don't folk with each other in a bad way, only in a good way. If us folk are speaking the same language, if just you and I, if just people are communicating with one another, not making videos about each other, not trolling each other's channels, not trashing each other, not doing stupid things. I didn't check and see if anybody's trolling today. Then if we can do that, if we can just communicate with each other, not to mention the planet and the trees, the birds, the bees. Look what it says. Shoot, let me show you again. Look what it says. If we can do that, and that's not that hard. If we can do that, then nothing they devise will be beyond them. You know what nothing means, ladies and gentlemen? Nothing means not anything. Nothing they devise. Nothing they consider, nothing they purpose, nothing they devise. How would you like it if everything you considered you could do? If everything you purposed you could do? If everything you devised you could do? Can I tell you a secret? You already can. You just don't know it. Everything you put your mind to, you can do. Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. Everything they devise, nothing they devise will be beyond them. That means everything that they want to do, they will be able to do. There won't be anything they're cut off from. There won't be anything inaccessible to them. There won't be anything that can enclose them. If you're still following plastic Jesus, if you're still in that fear and guilt control matrix, he can cut you off. He says he can. He's going to cut off people. Right up to the book of Revelation, he cuts people off. If you're still following plastic Jesus, he can become inaccessible. He has done it 1,000 times. And he can enclose you, but not if you find your own way. Nothing will be beyond you, ladies and gentlemen. If you learn to communicate with each other and do the things that we did back at Babel, nothing we devise will be beyond us. So what did the Lord do, seeing that this was the case? He went down. Come on, work with me. Stop. Start. He went down and he confused. Oh my. We're having a little bit of trouble, I guess, with the hurricane situation. He confused, and it means just what it says, their language, their speaking. So they couldn't understand each other. Whoops. Hope I didn't lose connectivity altogether. I didn't. So they could not understand each other. They couldn't really hear each other. They had bad comm. And you know that just because I'm talking to you and you're talking to me, that doesn't mean we're communicating. True communication is information sent and received along a line of communication. If I'm speaking to you and I'm just speaking at you and you're just sitting there rolling your eyes, thinking in your head what you're going to say when I shut up, that's not communication. Communication is when we're exchanging information across a line of communication. Communication is when we have affinity. We understand each other. We have affinity. We have reality. We're in the same world. Then we can have communication. But if there's no affinity, if there's no reality, there's no communication. If there's no communication, then it becomes very hard to get things done. But if we have the affinity, doesn't mean I have to like you. It just means I have to find something with you that I can identify with. If we have the reality, we both understand and are thinking about a real world, even if it's not real. If you and I think it's real, it is. Then we can communicate. And if we can communicate, there's not anything that we can't do as people. Is it worth working for some affinity, knowing the stakes? Is it worth working for some reality, knowing the stakes? Is it worth working for some communication, knowing the stakes? Because the stakes are, since we're not doing that right now, and you Christians are the worst. If you don't do it our way, you're wrong. No affinity. If you don't do it our way, you're wrong. No reality. If you don't do it our way, you're wrong. No communication. Y'all can just go off by yourselves and have your little party and rock and roll in your little mortal world. We're moving to the immortality. So, well, bye. We don't care about you anymore. Don't let the door hit you where that puny little God split you. And he didn't really do it, but it's fun to say that. Because if we don't, this is what will happen. If we stay in Christianity, if we stay in the blood matrix, if we stay in the fear and guilt control matrix, if we stay in the blood poisoning, if we continue to suffer from mad sheep disease, we're going to get scattered. We've been scattered, broken to pieces, dispersed, and scattered. He probably picked them up in a ship and dropped them off all over, pushed them out the doors. We've been dispersed too long. We've been broken too long. We've been in pieces together too long. It's time to get the pieces back together and solve this puzzle, ladies and gentlemen. And because they were dispersed, they knew, why did they say we don't want to get scattered across the face of the earth? Remember in verse 6, they said, we got to get together so we don't get scattered across the face of the earth. Let me show you where that was. You remember it, but I want to show you anyway. We don't, lest we be scattered. They didn't want to be scattered because they know if they get scattered, what would happen? And if they got scattered, what happens? And the Lord scattered them abroad, and they quit building the city. That's what happens when we get scattered. That's what happens when we start getting at each other's throats instead of communicating with each other. When we lose our affinity, when we lose our reality, we lose our communication, and we stop building. We stop building, ladies and gentlemen. We stop building. We stop building what? We stop building the city. We stop building the excitement. Has the excitement gone out of your life? Has the excitement gone out of your life? Has the excitement gone out of your spiritual experience? It's probably because you don't have any affinity with true spiritual people anymore. It's probably because you don't have any reality anymore of what's actually going on. And that keeps you from having communication, ladies and gentlemen. And that keeps you scattered and keeps you from building your excitement and becoming who you're supposed to be. That's what the Tower of Babel is really all about. That's what the Tower of Babel is really all about. And that's really, really, really good news. Maria says, I haven't had any excitement for years. I didn't watch the Toy Story movie. Plaguebot, who I've never seen before. If I have seen you, I'm sorry, I don't remember you. This man is on fire. I'm feeling the flow from my head to my toe. Dude, I like it. No excitement for years. I trust no one anymore. Well, trust yourself. Tyler Day, all religion needs to get out of the way. I agree. Lynn Renee Fisher, don't know that I've seen you before. If I have, I'm sorry. Give it a couple hundred years into the new age. Consciousness will develop on its own. Lynn, I feel you, girl. But I ain't got a couple hundred years. Can we do it now? Please, or at least can we try? Can we please try? Do it now. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. No such thing as a bad word. It's all about intention. Yes and no, Nigel. Yes and no. These psychopaths keep scattering us with wars. Ooh, so good. Jesus isn't God. He's little g God. He's probably a dog. Funny thing is, we all knew, but the amnesia runs deep. Exactly, Robert. Exactly. This is really good stuff. Fight one world religion, but ours is the only way. We like to play, but not be played. There you go. Folks, life's a game. The people that win it treat it as a game and play and have fun. Are you playing? Are you having fun? That's why you're just existing instead of living. I play. I have fun. You see me up here doing very, very serious stuff, but loving every minute. You see Rocky Stucci? God help us when you see us together. It's all fun. It's all play. Scotty gets a little serious, but we pull him out of that. My belief, says Lynn's Webb, it's my belief in the teachings of the man God we know as Jesus. His message of love and forgiveness raises our frequency. That's why the message works, even if he's a Judeo-Christian myth. Well, Lynn's Webb, I understand what you're saying, but are you talking about the Jesus that's going to throw everybody that doesn't believe in him in the lake of fire? Or are you talking about the Jesus that is love? Because the same Jesus with the love and forgiveness is the same Jesus with the can of whoop ass to throw you into hell if you don't do it the way he says. I'm just asking the question. And the key to everything that's Judeo and the key to everything that's Christian is blood sacrifice. May I suggest to you that you need to get rid of the blood sacrifice, which means gulp. You got to get rid of the Jesus too. And I know it's hard because maybe you see that little baby Jesus in his gold frilly diapers. Maybe you see the ninja Jesus. Maybe you see, I don't know what Jesus you see. I ran out of Ricky Bobby analogies. But every Jesus there is connected to one thing, the blood. And the blood is the problem. This blood ain't for you. This blood drags you back into the fear and guilt control matrix. This blood drags you back into the human sacrifice matrix. This blood drags you back into the cannibalism matrix. This blood drags you back into the torture matrix. This blood drags you back to being possessed by Jesus, possessed by the Father. It brings you back to being locked out of immortality and locked into mortality. I hear you, Lance. And I respect your opinion. I respect your right to make a decision. But let me give you the other side of the coin before you decide to just swallow what they're feeding you. That's just me. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. But if it's Judeo and it's Christian, it's bloody. And if you have anything to do with it, you will suffer from 7-level blood poisoning. You will be locked into mortality, and you will not ascend, period. You're locked into mortality. Immortality is beyond your grasp as long as you're into anything Judeo or Christian, because it's blood-based, and this blood's not for you. No bullshitting. Blue kyanite. I like pie. What are you, Dean Winchester? We need to respect one another. Throat chakra helps with communication. Energy vamping parasites, yes. Activate your power pack with love and mediation. Yes, I'll go along with that. I'll go along with that. Every single word in the next moment can mean something different. Okay. Don't be a dick. Yep, that's true. Plants grow better when you talk to them. Yes, they do. Rocky, besides gods need not apply. Not sure what that means. Enjoy the Esetti Ranch. I will. Make the earth great again. Well, that's not an A, though. I was trying to work with an A. Rocky Stucci. An Anunnaki bastard. They do change names and roles. It's all about living. Good points. All right, we need each other. The new Woodstock. Let's take back our inheritance. Many grains of sand make a beach. Robert says, Jeff, you've nailed this. Thank you, sir. And whoever just gave the $10, I can't see who you are, but thank you as well. I appreciate you. I salute you. I've kept you long enough. Sean Greenfield, thank you. Phoebes Bryan, another new name. As a kid, I thought the whole eating flesh and blood was sick. You're right. It's still sick. Where else in the world can you kneel in front of a dead guy on a stick or just a implement of human torture, drink somebody's blood, eat somebody's flesh, and it's not cannibalism and human sacrifice? Where else can you go down to an altar, get on your knees, sell your soul, make a blood oath, and invite two entities, not one but two, the Father and the Son, to possess you, and it's not demonic. It's glory, hallelujah, salvation. Come on, man. You're smarter than that. Come on, girl. You're smarter than that. Get yourself free. Think before you ink that pact. Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. Tomorrow, let me double check. Some of you are going to get really excited about this because it has to do with Barnabas Nagy. Let me double check. Let me look at my calendar. I think I put it on my calendar. Barnabas Nagy. Barnabas Nagy. It is not on my calendar. Let me look in my email. You need to see. I think Barnabas is on tomorrow. Barnabas Nagy. Let's see. Barnabas. Wednesday, 9 a.m. Central. That's tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about fake U.S. history, including fake history surrounding Lincoln's War. Some of you call it the Civil War. Wednesday, 9 a.m., Barnabas Nagy. And I'm pretty sure tomorrow night I have to talk to her because she wants to do a little run through first because she hasn't done a live before. Soulfulish Girl, tarot reader extraordinaire, tomorrow night at 9. That's amazing. I'm going to try to do Rapscallions Thursday night with Scotty, although I do travel rather early Friday morning, so iffy on that one. But it's going to be powerful stuff the rest of this week. Then we're out to Palm Desert. all kinds of podcast excellence coming to you from Palm Desert with Robert Stanley, with Jay Campbell, and with all of the great people that will be out there. So, yeah, let's not lose sight of what we talked about, but there's a lot of great, exciting stuff coming back. Zach Hubbard will be back soon. We've invited him a couple times. He's been busy. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Now you know about the more truth about the Tower of Babel. This is probably the 5th show I've done on the Tower of Babel, and it gets better every time. And you know what was going on, and you know what is going on, and you know how to get back to where you want to be. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Remember, we've got the Mystech bracelets, put you in the Schumann resonance, set you up for excellence and optimization in your life. We've got the focused life force energy beam, a high consciousness field into your area. You don't have to give a credit card. It's a free trial, 15 days on the home, 15 days on your cell. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, upper right-hand corner. You'll see FLFE. You'll see Mystech. Take advantage of it. We've got the rods. We've got books on the site. It's all good, ladies and gentlemen. And the hot cup of Shut Up is on its way. Shut Up and Listen is on its way, and that will be happening Sunday night. Come hell or high water, God willing, and the creek don't rise. And even if the creek don't rise, I'll get a raft, and we'll do it as long as Rocky Stucci's not working, as long as he's available. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe to this channel. Please make sure that you are subscribed, because some people have been unsubscribed. And if you've unsubscribed because someone told you to, thank you, and I'm glad that you're helping us purify our database and get rid of some of the dead weight. I didn't say that out loud, did I? I think I did. But we do love you. We do appreciate you. And hey, it is what it is. It's real, and we're real, and we're coming from the heart. And sometimes when you come from the heart, it just comes. You know what I mean? Good to see you. Nice to be with you. I appreciate every one of you spending your time here. You are all appreciated. You are all respected. Calling the herd and spreading the word. That's what we do here. Sterling has been here from the beginning. And, you know, sometimes you have to cut out a cancer. Sometimes you have to trim the fat. Sometimes you got to let it go. And that's okay. Because if we're not in it to win it, if you're not in, you might as well be out, because there's somewhere else you can go and fit in. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you. The Scallion and the Stallion on Thursday. Which one's Scallion? That's interesting. I don't think Germany lost either, but that's another podcast. Guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru. Don't, and also Robert Bauer, Professor Robert Bauer, soon. Don't outsource to their I am, because we are divine. We are sovereign. We are free. We're the anointed. We are the consecrated. We are in the flow, and we're in the know. And it makes it so much easier when you unindoctrinate yourself.